What's up, guys? It's Wifey.
And Pisto.
This is Platinum Charm Podcast.
Today we are recapping Bachelor Week 8, which
Mhm.
was hometowns.
Yeah, and boy, were we wrong.
Last episode we were expecting a lot of drama and the hometowns to not go very well, and they actually went very well.
And we're not at all what the sneak peek
Yeah.
preview was at all, which you have to take that into consideration because most of the time it's like an attention grabber.
Bachelor likes to do that.
Yeah,
They like to set you up.
absolutely.
So let's recap the episode. So we start off with Kelsey A's hometown.
Yep, in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. Give me your thoughts.
What a beautiful family, first off, and coming from a girl who's lost a parent. What a beautiful way to continue remembering and bringing that lost loved one still into your day-to-day life and still seeing the light of life without them whenever it could be really sad.
What are you referring to when you say what a beautiful way to remember? Or to...
I just, and you and I talk about this often, being able to still talk about that loved one, even though it's really uncomfortable, it's sad. And sometimes pushing those feelings and those thoughts of them not being there, pushing them down and not bringing them up. I think it was just really beautiful for you know, Kelsey's dad to be like, this is exactly what your mom would do. And, getting that reassurance and just your mom would love to be here and her being they're on the bridge and she's like, I'm just seeing butterflies everywhere and my mom's with us. And I think it's just very beautiful.
I liked the dad a lot. I liked the whole hometown. It went really nicely, but I did like the dad a lot.
Did you see that they are trying to get her dad to go on Golden Bachelor?
No.
Yeah.
Is he old enough to be Golden Bachelor?
I don't know if it's really the age maybe as far as it just being he's already had kids.
Because he doesn't look like the same as Gary.
No, he doesn't.
He was a cool dude. He had a lot of life in him, a lot of energy in him, a lot of positivity in him, and I liked him. I thought the hometown went great.
Yeah.
I don't really have much else to say on hers. Do you?
I like those two.
I do like those two. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. Next up was Rachel.
Yep. In California.
In California.
I don't remember what part. Sorry. I have kind of been...
Okay, really quick. How do you feel like Joey meshed with Kelsey's family?
Very
Because then
good.
I'm going to tie that into how do you think he meshed with Rachel's family?
I think that it could go. Do I think that it's just exactly what maybe he's looking for? No.
Yeah. There wasn't necessarily something wrong.
No.
But it wasn't like, oh yeah, this is it.
Yeah. The culture that she comes from is, beautiful culture, Filipino, Hawaiian, very, very beautiful culture. But the standards are high. And for a good reason, but their culture is very strong.
Yeah. I like Rachel. I would like to see her go to paradise or come back in some other fashion. I do like Rachel. I just don't think that her connection with Joey is as strong as the other girls.
Yeah.
And I don't see him fitting into that dynamic as well as others either.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I like Rachel. I just I don't think she's Joey's person.
And I did really love how Joey, kind of going back to the culture, how you can see how ingrained it is that, she's wanting him to address her mother in one way and wanting to address her father in another way. And just bringing in a lot of the cultural pieces, with the pig and doing things that route. I think that Rachel is maybe a little too strong
maybe
for him.
Yeah, I could see that. Good. Well said. I could see that for sure. Next up was Daisy. Where was hers? Where's she
Minnesota.
from? Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So going into the hometown, Daisy was very much, I like Joey, but I really need my family's approval. I really need them to kind of help me understand how I'm feeling, which I kind of had an opinion on that, she should know how she's feeling without them telling her how
Yeah.
she's feeling. But that's kind of how she came into the situation. How do you think that one went?
I think it went really well. I
Really
think
well.
that he meshes with her family very well. Um, I do think, just before I lose that train of thought, you have to be very, very careful with your boundaries of how much you allow your family and friends to be in your relationship and in your marriage.
Yep.
And if you're always looking for that acceptance from somebody else, it's a really slippery slope to your happiness and being able to feel confident and accepted in your relationship.
Well said. When you go home at night, it's you and your spouse, not you, your friends and your spouse, or you, your
Yeah,
family and your spouse. And you need to be able to handle that situation when it's just you two.
absolutely.
So, yeah, agreed. 100%. So Daisy's, I really like her family's really nice.
Very
Her
sweet.
family's very nice.
Yeah.
I really liked her connection with her dad, how she really like confides in him and leans on him and
Yeah.
said, I missed you, and they had their little moment and they had their little funny joke about
Yeah.
he very
It's
much
not like
was
you're
like
gonna lose your,
yeah,
not like you're gonna lose your
he
hearing
very
again.
much said, why are you holding back? And she was like, I am holding back. And even Joey was like, she's holding back. And I really like that he encouraged her to jump. And then the funny note of it's not like you're gonna go deaf again was super funny. They both laughed.
Yeah.
Great sense of humor. It was a really good hometown.
But it is a really good point to bring up of like you're going into this process and you're hoping the process will work for you. But a part of that process working for you is you got to take that leap of faith, and going into it, you can get hurt in any situation. You can get hurt in any relationship.
Yeah.
But if it feels right and your gut is telling you but you're scared because of something that may happen, it gets in the way.
Yeah. It's a setup, and it's tough because they have 20 girls or 20 plus girls
Yeah.
or whatever. Only one of them is going to be the misses of that specific situation. So most of them are going to get their heart broken
Yeah.
in one way or another, some worse than others. And I could see the reservation of, will I be open when the chances are not on my side? Like, statistically speaking, chances are slim. So, but it's a setup because in order for it to work, you have to be open and jump.
Yeah.
So props to these guys that go into this kind of a situation and give it their best shot and are
Yeah.
able to open up and really give it a shot, because chances are most of them are getting hurt.
And I think Joey understands that better than most people, because I do think that he really invested in charity. I think that he really, you could see that glisten in his eyes, and you could see like he was just very like interested, engaged, and invested. So I think that he is very good for that like position of understanding like you just kind of got to trust the process.
I wonder if that's why the show normally goes with previous contestants, because they've been on that side. So they're not going to come to Bachelor side and hopefully be disrespectful to that whole
Right.
situation. So a
Right.
key takeaway for me from Daisy's hometown was when she said, I'm ready to jump and I'm ready to fight for him.
Yeah.
I really like when she said, I'm ready to fight for him. To me, that was major.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm ready to open up. It's I'm ready to go after this and I'm ready to fight for him. And I really liked that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved that she engaged him in like a part of her like upbringing with the Christmas tree farm.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really
Yeah.
sweet.
Those guys have a big property.
Yeah. That's a big task.
Yeah.
But she's never really struck me as like a city girl, but she's kind of coming across a little more of like a not farm girl, but like nature, small town kind of girl, and she
Yeah.
definitely doesn't present herself like that. So it's like pleasantly
She's an
surprising.
interesting case, that
Yeah.
one. She really is.
I think that she could be a really, not that I don't think she's already an awesome person, but I don't think she's like really let her light shine as bright as it can.
And she already shines pretty brightly.
Yeah.
So props to her. So last hometown, you say the name.
Maria.
Maria.
What happened, Maria?
So to this point, the 3 previous hometowns all went very well. The families were all very supportive.
Mm-hmm.
And multiple times the families were saying, give this a chance, which I don't know if I remember a time where the families were really kind of like, hey, give this a shot.
No.
Give this a shot. It was actually nice to see.
Yeah.
It was nice to see them being like, hey, you're here. Give it a chance.
You're already doing it, so you might as well send it.
I liked that they were doing that.
Yeah.
So the 3 previous hometowns all were great. Good to great.
Yeah.
Rachel's good. The other twos were great.
Yep.
Going into Maria's, the beginning was pretty good.
Yeah.
They had their little Niagara Falls moment, which was good.
And stuffed peppers for dinner.
Dinner was good.
And Joey said, sorry, Mom, but
these are better.
These are better.
Yeah, calling it like it is. The dad comes off he's Greek Italian.
Yeah.
And he's very protective daddy, which is fine. There's a whole situation in her past where she almost passed away, and it brought them really, really close.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you keep that in mind, it makes sense. It's not that he's disregarding his other children, just that he almost lost her, and they have a special bond because of it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. And I was a little bit like, oh boy, this guy's going to give Joey a hard time. And he really didn't. Mm-hmm. He was very respectable on his conversation with Joey.
Absolutely.
Very respectful. Kind of portrayed his side very well, but was still, I thought he handled it great.
He's very well spoken, but I can also see where Maria gets her emotional intelligence from, because he's a very in tune kind of person that you can see, but he's also very realistic.
Yeah. And
Maria is very much that way, and it's just a little sad. I think that she got in her head.
So until this point, everything's good, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah. All the conversations with the family and her friend and all that was good. And Joey even asked the father if it's her at the end and he proposes, would he have the father's blessing in that? And the dad said, if you both choose each other, meaning you choose her and my daughter chooses you back, then yes, you have my blessing, which was major.
Absolutely.
Major, major, major.
Yeah.
So fast forward to the end of the night. Maria is saying, I'm nervous that I haven't expressed how I'm feeling about him yet, that I may be too late. She says this in an interview.
Yeah.
Then they're having their goodbyes out front, kind of recapping the night. She has the perfect opportunity to say it, and she says, I feel strongly for you.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for being here. Done. Joey's reaction was, Thanks for having me. That was it. That was, in my opinion, that's what kind of that was game over. They already had a rough patch. So, spoiler alert, Maria goes home.
Yeah.
So, and I have to jump ahead in order for what I'm saying right now to make sense. But they had a little bit of a rough patch leading up to this whole hometown.
Yeah.
But I still think that Joey was still hopeful for them.
I do too. I think that if she could have opened up a little bit more to him, and he did share whenever they were talking, and she, she apologized to him and just said, basically that she was sorry for the way that she had acted whenever they were on the boat. And he said that it did bring him, some concern that she was so quick to kind of peace out.
Yeah.
And that it also concerned him that she had never taken anybody to meet her family. And that brings up a good point because she did talk about a previous boyfriend that had proposed to her or
Hmm.
had talked about proposing to her. Um, yeah, yeah.
That doesn't add up.
And so it's interesting how that whole dynamic played out. Um, so that whole end of the night is just awkward and weird and
Bad.
just set off on a really bad, like, last foot.
Yeah. As he's driving off, you can see her kicking herself, saying, I blew that. And I think a lot of people can relate to that situation. I don't know if a lot of females can, but a lot of males can probably relate to, I need to say something important. I need to have this moment, and I chicken out. And then the moment passes and you're regretting it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if females can relate to that so much, but males, like, even down to like asking somebody out or like trying to initiate a first kiss or like some of these kinds of things, it's all that kind of a moment.
Yeah.
And you either win the moment and like try the moment or you chicken out. And she totally chickened out. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of males can relate to that moment. And like I said, it's just asking somebody out, initiating a first kiss, asking someone to marry you. All these kind of moments is the same kind of moment, right?
Yeah.
So it was really weird that she didn't grab that moment.
No,
She said she needed to.
And she's been such a boss throughout this
She has been a
whole thing.
boss.
And I don't know. That's why I say, like, I think she may have gotten in her way a little bit because she was doing, like, she was handling herself so well all season long. And just telling him, like, I want you, I want us, I see us. Like, she's just talking so highly about the two of them. And I just think she got in her way. Like, she started really catching feelings after their one-on-one, saw him with other women, and that made her very insecure and jealous. And as a woman, like, that is a spiral. Like, well, I think probably for most people it's a spiral.
Which in itself is fine. It's fine for her to say, it's affecting me that I'm seeing you with other people.
Yeah.
That in itself is not the issue. The issue is that she wanted to jump ship and leave the show.
Yeah.
So she already put herself back, had to try to climb back in as far as like rebuilding trust with him. Has the opportunity to have this moment to tell him how she feels. She knows she's supposed to, or that she wants to, and she doesn't do it.
And she didn't even like say like,
that was weird.
I
appreciate you for being here. Should we shake hands? Like, should we shake hands? Like, what's happening?
Deal,
you know
buddy,
what I'm saying? Like, thanks for having me. Like, what? What the heck?
This transaction.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird.
So get to like the rose ceremony. There's 3 roses. So one person's going home. The ladies look absolutely stunning. They're beautiful. They're in a hangar, an airplane hangar with a private jet outside.
Which looked awesome.
It was really cool.
They made that look awesome. Yeah.
So ladies show up. He's about to, he has a rose in his hand.
Maria comes in last.
Maria says to him, can I steal you for a second? Can I pull you for a second? They go over and talk, and she does exactly what she should have done the night of her hometown and tells him basically that she is in love with him. She's not falling it. Like, she's in love with him. She sees them at the end, like spills her feelings out to him. And you can just see, like, he cannot hide his emotions in his face at all.
When he's not interested or not happy.
No. It's very similar to the face that he had with Jess when Jess, like, said all that she needed to say, and he just was like, it's not there. Yeah. So for the girls that are left, like, he cares about you.
You can see it.
You can see it. Yeah. You know it.
You can see it.
So, oh my gosh. Then she just walks off and stands back in the little row.
Let me grab you right there. How do you think someone can determine that as truth or a last-ditch effort? Like in Joey's mind, he already had his mind made up that it was going to be her going home.
Yeah.
She pulls this move, which is the second time she's pulled him at a rose ceremony, by the way. The second time she did that. does this whole moment that she should have already done. They've already had a rough
Yeah.
patch. And to him, it's like, I'm just curious your thoughts on, do you take it as sincerity, or do you take it as last ditch effort, or do you just take it as too little too late, doesn't really make a difference?
Yeah.
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 Weird move.
In this type of
Weird
situation,
move.
you almost have to be perfect. Like with your words, with your timing, you almost have to you have to send it because you don't have the opportunity to meet somebody face to face and then text them later or call them, before bedtime and, hey, I'm sorry I didn't say this to you. Like I was uncomfortable in the moment or whatever. You don't have the opportunity. You have the opportunity when you're face to face and you may not see them for another week. And that just gives people way too much time to think about how they're feeling.
And I think Joey set it up really nicely of like, if I gave you this rose and we're headed to hometowns, we need to be to a point where like you shouldn't be that afraid to tell me how you're feeling about
Right.
me. And so that may have been another issue. So anyways. So Rachel doesn't like that she pulls him.
No, and
Has a
she's like,
couple little comments. What was that about?
yeah. And
Maria tries to be all nice about it. No, you pulled him. What was that about? I don't know. Rachel's being weird.
Rachel
She's being weird.
is that's what I mean about her being a little too strong for him.
She is strong.
Because I think that if she doesn't get her way, that it will turn into a whole thing. And I think that Joey is very sensitive but very non-confrontational. And I don't know if that will work. And I feel like the other two girls are very gentle and very open and understanding. And I don't feel that way with Rachel.
I can see that.
At all.
I can see that. She's tough. Tough shell, tough inside. She's tough.
Yeah.
So anyways, Maria does not get the rose, gets sent home. He doesn't really have too much to say to her. And nope. She, in the car, just says too little too late, pretty much. Like, I knew what I should have done, and I didn't do it. And I'm curious on, let's say she didn't do the jump ship moment, and she did tell him how she felt at hometowns, which her hometowns with her family, he meshed very well in that situation.
Yeah.
Him and the father got along really well.
Yep.
He got the father's blessing, so everything was good in that department, right? Do you think that Maria is your top runner? Had those issues been fixed?
Had she I mean, it's very possible. Like I could still it's hard to say like where my feelings are right now because I'm already sitting in those feelings versus like retrospect. But I mean, I could see it. I really he really enjoyed his time with Maria and you could see it on his face like he's happy. He's happy for the way that she brings a side of him out and they both seem to mesh really well and then she just kind of 180 start over.
Yeah. So. Do you think we see her again somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Blake.
You think we see her in paradise?
No, I think we see her with Blake
out in the not on the show.
No, out in the wilderness.
Do we see her on the show?
I think she's on Blake's boat out in the wilderness in Canada, and she's doing.
Blake has a boat?
Blake does all kinds of wilderness stuff, baby. Like he's like a game warden or something.
A game warden?
Yeah. He's like an environmental
So you don't think that we
guy.
see her on Bachelor again, but she ends up with Blake? That's
correct.
Your prediction. Okay. All right. I think we have a chance of seeing her in paradise. So, anyways, moving on. She blew it. Multiple times. Blew it. Moving on. So we have Rachel. What?
No, because you're just you keep trying to move on, and I'm sitting here trying to. Oh. Hold on.
While she does some research, Rachel, Daisy, Kelsey going to overnights.
He's a wildlife management. He's in wildlife management program.
He is a game
warden.
Rachel, Daisy, Kelsey headed to overnights.
Yep.
Rank them. As far as who you think, rank them in order of strongest connection with Joey. Who has the best chance of winning this thing?
Kelsey, Daisy, Rachel.
Kelsey, Daisy, Rachel. I could see it.
Kelsey is a free spirit, and she is really growing on me.
She's good.
I like that she doesn't present herself as damaged goods.
I can see that.
And I think that it's hard to not put your faults in front of like your positive notes that you bring in because of like judgment things. And I feel like Daisy, when she meets you, she's, "Hi, I'm Daisy. I have a cochlear implant." And
You think so?
I think in some like situations, like I think she feels like she is, I am Daisy, I am deaf. Like I feel like that is how she feels. She's not like, "Hey, I'm Daisy. Like this is who I am. Oh, by the way, I went deaf. I have a cochlear implant to help me hear." Every
She didn't start
conversation.
with Joey like that. It took her till her one.
No, she did. She did. She did bring that up. Like I think
Hmm.
the night of not maybe not their first like impression rose, but the one right after that, she talked about it.
Hmm.
And I feel the same way with Rachel. Like all of Rachel's hometown was just based on, "I know you've been hurt. I know you're hurt. I know you've been hurt." Like all of this, it's not like, yes, like, so what? You moved on. Like go be
Kelsey is
great.
very positive and very optimistic about them. It's
Hmm.
all positivity. It's all
But it's not because of a lack of heart. Like it's not like she doesn't
yeah.
understand heartache,
I
because
can
she
see that.
does. She just doesn't put the heartache in front of her
I can
happiness.
see that. Yep, I can see that.
So
So you think Kelsey, Daisy, Rachel?
yes,
So okay, you think
yeah.
he sends home Daisy and
No,
that's
I
the one
think
in the
he's.
car
I
that
think.
he's freaking out about,
Oh, at the end, yeah,
and he proposes to Kelsey.
yeah.
Okay, I could see it. If that happens, do we see Daisy again on the show? Do we see Rachel again on the show? Are one of them considered for Bachelorette?
Possibly, yeah.
Who?
I don't think Daisy would do it though. Um,
They won't pick Rachel for Bachelorette. They'll pick the Kelsey T before they pick Rachel.
I think Kelsey T would be wonderful. Kelsey T
Hmm.
or Jen,
Jen.
the cute little Vietnamese girl that he sent home that
Oh,
he had a really good connection with. So I'm not sure why he
I
sent
don't
her
see
home.
her Bachelorette. I see her going to
Paradise.
Paradise. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She fits. She's fun. She fits Paradise.
Yeah, she's ready to snuggle in the woods naked.
That's what she said. That is what she said.
So we'll see how
And then
next
here
week
comes
goes.
Blake, the game warden, saying, "There's a naked Jen out here, folks.
You won't
We
believe
gotta sneak up
you
on
won't
her.
believe what I just read.
These are very dangerous animals."
They are
And
dangerous
then
animals.
Maria's like, "Excuse me,
No, because
only look at me."
there's the birds that get the crabs and
Oh, what, Paradise? What are those things? They're crab bullies.
savages.
They're straight up crab bullies. All they do is pick on crabs all day.
Yeah, they literally just tear them to shreds and
They're
then just leave them
alligator
there.
birds.
Alligator birds.
Crab eating alligator birds.
Do you want to know what I just possibly saw?
No, I don't.
Blake and Rachel.
Together? Previous Bachelorette, Rachel? I like it. What'd you
You know
see?
how I'm surprised?
What'd you see? Like a post or something?
Yeah,
A rumor?
probably. I didn't look at it. I was trying to see if he was a game warden.
Did those two talk at Paradise last year?
I think a little bit, yeah. But you know who?
No. Who was it that when he left, who was freaking out? Who was it?
The girl that's with Avon. That was with Avon.
Oh, yeah, the cheerleader.
So Avon cheated on her.
What?
Yeah. And she is like totally bashing him all over social media.
What?
Yes.
We need to do an episode where we just talk about the gossip.
The drama.
Yeah.
So
we're going to do some research and we're going to have a gossip episode.
I like the gossip. So
those two were just trying to make it work. That was not the one. That wasn't it. That wasn't it.
What's her
Did
name?
you ever think that was it? I don't know.
I don't
Ex
remember.
NBA cheerleader.
She's a nurse now.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like Blake and Rachel. I think that Braden and Rachel had a really good vibe. So I'm sad that one didn't work out, but obviously that ship has sailed on both ends.
Yeah.
I could see Blake and Rachel. I could see that. But then what about Maria? She goes to paradise, or she's the bachelorette.
No,
I don't
Maria
see
can't
her
be
as I don't
bachelorette.
see her as bachelorette.
No, it's Kelsey T. I've already wrote into Bachelor. They already know the requests.
Did you ask Jesse if he's an actual tennis player?
Yeah. He's from Canada. This is what they do.
No, what they do is they drink maple syrup out of little tiny cups.
And they also
Small.
they also pet their moose.
Do they like take a maple leaf, snap it off of whatever that it's on, like turn it like a taco and drink the
Baby,
maple syrup directly off the leaf?
we have a
These
maple
guys are
tree in our
gangsters.
backyard. It
These guys
doesn't do
are
that.
what?
Yeah,
Are
that's
we
a maple
Canadian?
tree. Do you want to move to Canada?
We're Canadian.
I would love to move to Canada.
It's a Canadian team. I can play tennis.
I can play tennis.
I'm a tennis master.
Are you? On the Wii?
Oh, we're rambling on. Guys, we will see you next time. We got overnights. Really quick. How do you think it goes? Do you think that they all have good overnights? Because it kind of seemed like there's some drama.
I think they all have
Who
good
leaves him the
overnights.
note? Who leaves him the note that he reads it and then he's like, oh, here we go.
Daisy.
Daisy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Rachel. She's got to assert herself. And
I
she's
don't think that Rachel really cares, to be honest with you. No, she is not invested in that. She's writing what she's finishing out what she started.
Daisy leaves a note.
Yeah.
Do you think that they all have good overnights?
Yep.
Okay. We'll
We
see you
shall
guys
see.
next time.
Peace.
Peace. We really have a maple tree in the backyard?
Yeah.
That one in the middle?
Yeah, the pretty one.
You want some maple syrup?
Yeah.
Why are we buying maple syrup?
Because I don't know how to make it.
Does it come from that leaf?
I think it comes from the sap.
Of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to stick a straw. Maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Prime. Perfect. Right on my pancakes.
Yeah,
I just do this.
jar.
I just put a little, and then as it's coming out, onto my pancakes.
Yeah.
Canadians are bosses. You guys are bosses.
Okay, for real. Peace.